Hey everyone, today we've got the round 22 review for SuperCoach. So, 2,304, top 28% for the round. Slipped back a few thousand, or just 1,388, back to 21k. It was not an abhorrent or torrential round, but if we're being honest, it was pretty trash overall. Just kind of looking forward to get this season done. One round to go, the penultimate round is finished. And yeah, I swear, round 23 at the end of it finna hit like crack if we're being honest. The end to such a traumatic year. But we'll get into it with the defenders. So Jack Sinclair, another solid game, 111. He'll probably get tagged this week given he's playing Sydney, but he's been pretty good so far this year, so can excuse a poor score if it does eventuate next week. Tom Stewart, 98. Bounce back game, definitely much better than the insipid 48 he dished up last week, but he can still probably definitely improve upon this. Just he's slipped below this 110 average now, so hopefully he can get back above that in the last round. And then Sam Doherty, 121, backing up off that 124 last week. Great performance again from him. He's got that ball use humming, and now he's performing very, very well in a Supercoach team. So good to see from him. Aaron Hall, 97. I think he had only 2 clangers, but if you actually look at his turnovers, I think he had 8. Which is why he didn't score like a 120, 125, which he really could if he just improves his ball use. Like you see the effect it has had on Sam Doherty. Definitely can be an Aaron Hall. Obviously, just 1 round left, but hopefully into next year, if he can definitely improve that part of his game, can definitely average probably 115, 120, if we're being honest, because he is genuinely that good. And then Jaden Short, 108, got a pretty easy kill against Hawthorn. They pretty much just rolled over, especially in that second half, if we're being honest. And Jaden Short, played pretty well in the end. Crisp did not play that well, was pretty poor. And Callum Dawson only had 14 touches, but quite a few intercepts, so did pretty well back there for North. And great score from him. Then the midfield, Rory Laird, 97, obviously sub 100, but the way he's been playing, you definitely give him a little bit of leeway on that one. It's his first, sub 100 in a while, I'm sure, so not too bad. Tug Miller, 125 against Geelong. He did battle pretty hard, but Geelong's overwhelmed them just basically throughout the whole day. Clayton Oliver. Anyone at the fully formed prefrontal cortex would know that he just beasted and feasted in this game. Surprised he only got 126. He really probably should have got more. Probably 140, 150 if we're being completely honest. But 126, not too bad. It was actually the highest score on my team, which you would not expect 126 to be the highest score in round 22 when you got a full premium team. But I mean, that's just probably how poor my team has performed when you look at some of these 70 scores from these so-called premiums. But not too bad. And at least we did maximize his score by captaining him and being the highest scoring player in the team. Then Lockie Neal, he did seem like he got tagged by Marcus Windhager a bit, so you give him a little bit of a pass, kind of, but to be honest, I don't really want to give him that much. Everyone's got him, I know, so it's not that big a deal, but I still kind of would have wanted at least a 90, 95 from him. But it is what it is, especially because Brisbane did win. If he performed a little bit better in that fourth quarter when there was a lot of points up for grabs, he really probably could have got to 90 or even 100. And then Jack Steele just looked really timid out there. Didn't get tagged, I don't think, or anything, but just did not perform that well. Very bad game from him. Looked like it was like 2015 version of Jack Steele, which was very surprising. Just did not hunt the ball or play with as much intensity as he usually does. But it is what it is. And then with Cripper, 117. Somehow he managed to get off at the tribunal. His lawyers must be like the reincarnated version of Robert Kardashian or something to get off that. But hey, at least he performed well. He and Walsh both had pretty poor kick-to-handball ratios. But difference was for Cripps, he just had 12 tackles. So that's what really saved him in the end. From scoring like probably 80 as well. And Walsh did perform pretty subpar if we're being real. And then McRae, along with Bontempelli and Dunkley as the Dogs mids, all went alright against GWS. Nothing too special out of any of them, but it is what it is. And then Mitch Owens, I thought, was pretty good, especially in the clutch, 57. He was probably pretty quiet in the first 3 quarters, but did well in the fourth, I thought. And then so with the rucks, Jared Witts, 116. Is actually pretty good, considering he came up against Geelong, who actually have a pretty challenging ruck lineup, to be honest, this year. With Reece Stanley, who's probably playing his best season, I would say, just about. And then you've also got Mark Bassars playing more midfield than he has in previous years. And he's doing pretty well pinch hitting in the ruck as well. And of course, Tom Hawkins in the forward 50 has always been pretty hard to stop. So 116 isn't actually too bad. And Toby Nankervis. So we did actually use our final trade last week. I said I was going to use it on Cripps to Mills. but obviously Cripps is played, so there was no real reason to do that. So I just chose probably who I thought was my weakest premium. It was really a toss-up between Darcy Cameron, and Liam Baker. Decided to use it on Darcy Cameron because I could probably get up to a few more other guys with the cash I had. And yeah, so chose Toby Nankervis. Darcy Cameron actually did outscore him. He turned up, got on 100. Toby Nankervis got 80. I was looking at it. It was either between Nankervis and Riley O'Brien because they both have got tons against who they both had in the last 2 rounds. Toby Nankervis and Riley O'Brien. So, as you can see, yeah, Nankervis against Hawthorn, 108 early in the year, and he's got Essendon this week, 135, but he only got 80 against Hawthorn this week. Probably would have definitely liked some more, but hey, you get what you get, I guess. Hopefully, he can at least outscore Darcy Cameron by more than 20 this week, so we can overall win on the trade, but we'll see what happens. Then the forwards, so we did already cover Bontempelli, Dunkley, along with McRae, all alright in the Bulldogs midfield. Cornelia 116 was pretty good. Probably GWS is just about best player, or at least best midfielder, I would say. And then Isaac Heaney, ton run of 6 now, going pretty well. Very good consistency from him. Another 109, got that average back up above 100, so that's really good to see from him. And yeah, hopefully he carries that back into this last week. And then Liam Baker, 84. So, like I said, I was actually considering trading him out. The thing was, like, he's very low priced at this point. Very cheap. So, last week he was 376k. I think I had 23k in the bank or something around that. So I couldn't really get too many people. One of the people I actually was considering was Mason Wood, though, who, if you saw it, he played probably his career game. Strangely, only got 99, though, in it. Which, if you ask me, off the eye test, just from watching it, was probably closer to 199. But it is what it is, you know. That's just how SuperCoach scaling works. But yeah, Liam Baker was alright, 84. At least it wasn't sub 80 or sub 70, but that's alright. And Josh Carmichael, 50. Didn't have too much of an impact on the game, but it's alright, just on the bench. So 50 is what it is. And so obviously with trades, we got 0 left, so we can bypass that pretty much and go straight on to captaincy. So look at it, there's not too many guys that are performing super well. There's really only 3 guys that I'm really considering for captaincy, as have been pretty much for like the last 5 weeks. Obviously, Rory Laird, Tug Miller, Clayton Oliver. And I think just based on matchups, we're probably going to go Clayton Oliver vice-captain this week against Brisbane on the Friday night, into Tug Miller on the Saturday against North Melbourne, who hopefully goes well there. Although Rory Laird just got 97 against them. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, yeah, he can score well, and one of these two can wear the captaincy armband, the orange armband, for the last week of the season. But should be pretty good, pretty much. Again, we are heading into the ultimate week of the season, the last round. And this should be pretty much how we line up, I would imagine. Yeah, not too different. But yeah, should be pretty good. Excited for it. Last week we get 9 full matches in one weekend, so it should be pretty good to watch. And I will have, of course, the Ultimate Mega Season Review out next week, which, you know, we're taking a deep dive into the downfalls, the uprisings of my season, what worked, what didn't work. And yeah, we'll take a deep dive and intricate analysis into it all, and it should be pretty good to watch, I reckon. Hopefully it turns out well, but we'll see. And yeah, anyway, thanks for watching this video.